She's looking at you differently now, not with the same comfort, not with the same confidence. She's realizing you're not the same man anymore, and it's making her nervous. Because women can feel it, that shift. When a man starts to pull away, not out of fear, but out of focus. When his energy no longer circles around her approval, but his own mission. Now let me ask you, have you ever noticed how a woman becomes more interested the moment you stop chasing? How her tone changes when you go quiet? When you no longer explain yourself, apologize for your growth, or entertain her little emotional games. It's not a coincidence. It's not magic. It's psychology. It's masculine energy in its pure form, calm, centered, untouchable. Most men don't get this. They think love means proving yourself, texting back fast, being available 24/7, letting her dictate the rhythm. But here's the truth. The moment you put her at the center of your world, she loses respect. Not because she's cruel, but because biology wires her to crave strength, to be drawn to the man she can't fully possess. By the end of this video, you'll understand how to reclaim that power. Not with tricks, not with games, but by becoming a man of substance, the kind of man she realizes she can't manipulate, she can't figure out, and most importantly, she can't replace. This matters because too many men today are living in quiet desperation, apologizing for their masculinity, losing themselves in relationships that chip away at their edge. But Stoicism teaches us something different, that the man who controls himself controls everything, that silence can be louder than words, that walking away when needed is more powerful than staying and begging to be seen. Now listen carefully. You don't have to yell to be heard. You don't need to fight for her attention. When a man builds value within the world, and she begins to notice, she's watching. She feels it. You're not the same man anymore. And that's exactly what's making her obsessed. Ready for the shift? Let's go deeper. She's texting you more often now, not because you're saying anything different, but because you are different. See, when you stop over-explaining, when you no longer justify your silence, when you respond like a man who's in control of his time, she starts to feel it. She'll say things like, "You've changed. You're distant. You're not like you used to be." And here's what she really means. "I no longer have emotional power over you, and it scares me." Now pause and let that sink in. Most men hear those words and panic. They rush to fix it, to prove they still care. They go right back into the trap because they're addicted to validation, not connection. But a masculine man, he doesn't flinch. He knows that silence creates space, and in that space, attraction builds. She starts replaying your words. She scrolls through old messages. She wonders what you're thinking, why you're not chasing, why you're not giving her what every other man would beg to offer. And that's where power is born, in restraint, not in reacting, not in trying to explain yourself out of a feeling, but in owning your distance. Because here's the Stoic truth. A man should be upright, not kept upright. Marcus Aurelius. You're not here to perform for her, you're here to evolve. And when that evolution makes her uncomfortable, let it. You are not obligated to stay the same man just because it makes someone else feel safe. She misses the old you? Good. Let her grieve him. That version of you was too available, too eager, too controlled by emotions and outcomes. Now, you've shifted. You answer when you want. move on your time. Not out of spite, but out of principle. Because a Stoic man does, and bend to emotional storms, he anchors himself deeper. So next time she says, "You're not the same," just smile. She's finally seeing the man you were always meant to be, and deep down, she respects it. She craves it, even if her ego hates it. Now pay attention, we're just getting started. She's scrolling through your Instagram, rewatching your stories, checking your likes. Why? Because your energy has shifted, and now she's chasing the mystery. She used to know exactly where you stood. Every text was fast, every emotion was readable, every moment predictable. But now, you're unpredictable, unbothered, unapologetically detached. She feels the emotional gap, and that gap is driving her wild. Not because you're being rude, not because you're playing some childish game, but because you finally stopped placing her above yourself. And that's where real masculine dominance begins. Now let's get something straight. Most men misunderstand detachment. They think it's cold, that it's distance for the sake of distance. Wrong. Detachment isn't about being numb, it's about being centered. It's not that you feel nothing, it's that you're no longer ruled by what you feel. You're not texting back just to keep her happy. You're not adjusting your day to avoid conflict. You're not bending your values just to keep her from walking away. Why? Because you've realized something powerful. If you have to lose yourself to keep her, you've already lost. Listen carefully. There is nothing more attractive and terrifying to a woman than a man who is unavailable to control. When you used to react instantly to her moods, she had you. When she pulled back and you chased harder, she owned you. But now she pulls back, and you disappear. She acts distant, and you double down on purpose, not pursuit. She doesn't know how to handle it, because you're no longer driven by fear of loss. You've replaced desperation with discipline, emotion with intention. And what used to make her feel superior now makes her feel uncertain. Uncertainty. That's the seed of renewed desire. You've become scarce, not because you're playing a part, but because you've stepped into your true masculine self. The kind of man who doesn't need attention, the kind of man who builds attraction without saying a word. She senses the shift, and now she's questioning everything. Good. Keep going. Let's talk about what she's really thinking. Next. In her mind, a storm is brewing. She won't admit it out loud, but deep down she's wondering, did I lose him? Is he seeing someone else? Why doesn't he care like before? She's replaying old conversations in her head. She's overanalyzing your silence. And that silence, it's loud now. Understand this. When a woman starts asking why you've changed, she's already emotionally re-engaged. But here's the kicker. This only happens when you've stopped needing her to care. You've pulled your energy back. You're no longer waiting for her to call. You're not glued to your phone. You're not breaking your values to keep her happy. Instead, you're back in the gym, back on your mission, back to the man you were before she softened you. Now, listen closely. Most guys screw this up. The moment she reaches out again, they collapse. They think, it worked, she noticed, let me go back to giving her everything. Wrong. That's not masculine control, that's still emotional slavery dressed up in fake confidence. A Stoic man doesn't bend when tested. He doesn't perform to get affection. He doesn't let attention distract him from his deeper path. Because at his core he understands this. Her feelings are her business. His focus is his business. Epictetus said, Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. And her validation, that's beyond your control. You don't chase it. You don't manage it. You don't crumble when it's not there. Instead, you walk, steady, grounded, and unbothered. Now she's thinking, why does he seem stronger? Why doesn't he ask if I'm okay anymore? Did he stop loving me? And maybe you did. Or maybe you just stopped loving her more than yourself. There's a difference. She's used to being the center of your emotions. Now you've replaced emotion with vision, need with discipline, and comfort with conviction. She's realizing she's not holding the strings anymore. You've taken them back. And that shift, that silent reclaiming of power, it's the very thing making her feel what she never expected again, attraction. Stay locked in. Because the next part, it's where your control becomes irresistible. She's watching you evolve, but she won't say it. Not yet. She might test you first, throw out little jabs like, oh, you think you're better now, or you've become cold. Don't bite. Because what she's really saying is, you're not bending to me anymore and I don't know how to handle it. Now here's the truth. Women don't test weak men. They test strong ones to see if their strength is real. They push to see, can he be shaken? Can he be guilted? Can he be controlled by emotion dressed as love? You must not flinch. That's the difference between boys and men. Boys seek comfort. Men seek clarity. And clarity tells you this. You don't owe anyone the version of you that shrinks to make them feel bigger. Let me give you a scenario. You're out with your boys. You're not blowing up her phone. She texts, wow, you're really distant lately. Old you'd pause your night. You'd rush to explain. Sorry, just busy. I'll call you in 10. But this you read it, smile, and keep living. Because you've realized something powerful. A woman's insecurity is not your responsibility. Your only job? Be grounded. Be present. Be untouchable by emotional chaos. That's what a Stoic man lives by. He does not explain his peace. He does not argue his value. He lets his actions speak, his silence cut, and his presence lead. She feels it now, the shift in your energy, the weight in your words, the depth in your silence, and in her mind, the thoughts start spiraling. He's different. Did I push him too far? Is he finally seeing his worth? Yes. Yes, you are. You're not rude. You're not cold. You're clear. And clarity scares people who only knew the confused version of you. Now she's the one thinking about what to say, how to get your attention, how to bring the old you back. But that man is gone. You didn't become colder. You became wiser. And in the world of attraction, wisdom is lethal. We're not done yet. Let's go deeper into the moment she realizes she needs you more than you ever needed her. She's laying in bed now, staring at her screen, phone in hand, typing, deleting, typing again, deleting. She's never had to think this hard before, because until now, you were the one chasing. You were the one sending the long texts, apologizing, explaining, trying to fix everything just to keep the peace. But now you are the peace. Unshaken, unavailable, unapologetic. And that realization? It's flipping the script in her head. She used to feel in control. She knew your patterns, knew your weaknesses, knew that one little pout or cold shoulder would pull you right back in. But you've evolved. Now your silence hurts more than your words ever could. Let me break this down. This is the moment most women don't expect. When the man they thought they could always fall back on no longer waits around. Not out of anger, not out of revenge, but because he's grown past the need to be accepted. That's the death of her power, and the birth of yours. Now pay attention. She starts dressing better when she knows she'll see you, posting those accidental selfies, liking your stories, trying to reignite a fire she didn't know you could put out. All those little signals, that's not love. That is realization. Realization that she underestimated you, that she thought you'd always be there, that your silence wasn't a tactic. It was a turning point. A man doesn't become more attractive by being louder. He becomes more attractive by becoming less available, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Stoic principle? Don't explain your philosophy, embody it. Epictetus. That's what you're doing now. You're not telling her you've changed. You're showing her, through distance, through discipline, through direction. And she feels it. She senses that you've reclaimed something sacred, your self-worth. She's realizing, this man isn't waiting for me to act right anymore. He's moving forward, with or without me. That's what makes her spiral. That's what makes her want you more than ever. Because true masculine energy doesn't chase, it chooses. And if she doesn't align with your mission, she gets left behind. Now stay sharp, because in the final segment, I'm going to give you one last truth, and a Stoic challenge that will change your life. Here's the truth that breaks her the most. She's realizing that you were never weak. You were just soft, for her. And now that softness is gone. You're not bitter. You're not angry. You're just done shrinking. And that scares her. Because every woman knows, once a man outgrows her emotionally, there's no getting him back. You've stepped into your masculine core. You've made your peace with silence. You've stopped negotiating your value. And that shift, that's what separates men who attract respect from men who beg for love. Now listen carefully. This isn't about getting revenge. It's not about playing cold. It's about alignment. You've started aligning with the man you were meant to become. And in doing so, you've become the man she finally fears losing. This is what Stoicism teaches us. Not to be numb, but to be disciplined in our emotions, to hold the line when everything inside screams to react. Power through restraint. You no longer argue to be understood. You no longer beg to be chosen. You choose yourself every damn time. And what does she think now? She's realizing you're not the same man anymore. Not because you told her, not because you posted quotes, but because your energy speaks louder than words. You carry yourself differently. Your eyes don't plead. They measure. Your silence doesn't chase. It tests. You've become a man of presence, a man of principle, a man who leads, not pleads. And to any man watching this, don't go back to being nice just because she noticed the new you. Don't fold the moment she throws breadcrumbs. You are not who you were. You are sharper, calmer, stronger. So here's your challenge. Hold the line. Let her feel what she created. Let her meet the man she thought would never change, and watch her chase what she once took for granted. And I'll leave you with this from Marcus Aurelius. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Now go. Live like it. Walk like it. Own your power. And never give it back.